Hey guys, welcome back, and I am so excited. It's almost time for the Crown Tundra to drop. I think we've got about 8 hours till the game itself drops. So we're going to go through everything we know so far, all the kind of early release game footage, and just kind of have a quick rundown of where we are. So the video technically might contain spoilers, however I'm specifically only going over like the actual gameplay that has been released. I'm not going to cover any of the leaks that we've seen coming out over the past couple of days because I don't want to kind of ruin the story or anything like that for people. So that is like kind of totally excluded from this video. It's super safe. We're only going over the kind of official sources that have come out and had kind of early access to the game. So you can see we're going to go through a few bits of video and clips from the gameplay. So this first clip that we're looking at now, it just shows the general kind of world, and we know that it's kind of a brand new, similar to the Isle of Armor was, so it's completely open world. It's like one big wild area, which I'm super stoked about. Looks like there's loads going on. Initially I was a little bit worried because I thought it was all going to be snowy, but you can see from the footage it's just some kind of more greener areas, there's some water that's not frozen over, and obviously some snowy areas as well. So there's plenty of variation to the terrain, which is really good. It's based on Scotland in the UK, so I'm really excited to kind of see any little references they might have chucked in here and there. I'm a big fan of Scotland. I love Scotland. Alright, so it's cool. You can see the gameplay. We've got Nidoking making a return, so it's cool again to see some kind of new Pokemon, well, old Pokemon that have been brought back into this generation, which is so cool to finally see the game bulking out a little bit. And then we get a good view of Slowking, and guys, I don't like him. His eyes, it's the eyes like freak me out. I don't like it. I don't know. What do you think about those eyes, guys? Like, I don't know. They're not for me. He's got his eyes. Don't trust him. Don't trust him with those eyes. But yeah, so overall it looks pretty fun, and yeah, I think it's just going to be, it generally looks a lot bigger than what the Crown Tundra, what the Isle of Armor was. So yeah, we should be in for a good game. Moving on, we get to this big red tree, and this red tree has been in a lot of the kind of early gameplay. It's been in a lot of the pictures that has dropped, but there's not been a ton of explanation on it until kind of this final video, this final gameplay dropped. So it's the legendary tree, and you can see it's kind of the hangout spot for the 3 legendary birds, which have obviously got that brand new Galarian form, which looks incredible. And in this kind of cutscene, they're there eating some berries, just chilling out, and then they get into some sort of battle. Now this for me really kind of throws back to Gen 2 with the dogs, when you kind of stumble upon the dogs and then they scatter across the kind of map. The same thing happens here, so you can see the cutscene in this battle, and then we kind of disturb them and they scatter and they go off into different directions. And this is really exciting because it kind of confirms the idea that the 3 birds are going to be in fact roaming legends, and we're going to have to go find them. We're going to be free roaming along the map. There's going to be something in there that's going to allow us to go and kind of find them and then obviously catch them, which I just think is so much fun. I can't wait for that kind of element of the game. So then on to the third clip. Now, we talked a lot about the legendary raid dens in a previous video. So if you're not really sure what's going on, head down to that video and it'll kind of explain the more kind of basics of the raid dens. The main thing I wanted to add kind of for this video is I talked about the NPCs hanging out in between the raid battles. They were there to heal you. Well, in this video and in this clip, they actually show another dynamic and another element that those NPCs can help with. So when you approach them, they say, you know, your team's looking a little bit tired, and that's the point I expected to see, let me heal your team. Now, instead, what they said is that they've got a rental Pokemon, but only one. So one person out of the team could swap their rental Pokemon for the scientist's rental Pokemon. But it's completely surprise. So it doesn't tell you what their rental Pokemon is. It's kind of a surprise. Do you take it? Do you risk it for a biscuit? Again, another really strategic element that's kind of chucked in there, and I really like this. I just think this part of the game is you're going to have to really think about it. You're going to really have to chuck some bits in and out. And I just think this is what we've wanted. Some sort of extra level of depth in this generation of Pokemon game. And I think we finally got it with the Crown Tundra. And it just looks so much fun. Now the final kind of clip that I've chucked into the mix here is of the Galarian Star Tournament. So from what we understand, this is the very, very end game, if you like. So you have to have completed the main story of Sword and Shield, Crown Tundra, and the Isle of Armor. And this is then the last kind of point that you go to. It's the last sort of end game. Now, a lot of the reviews have said that this is going to be the hardest challenge in the game. And that's come straight from the kind of developers themselves. So, again, that's what we've been asking for. You know, we've been asking for a long time for kind of an extra level of difficulty and more strategic thinking. So yeah, cool. It's going to be really good. You kind of pair up with various players that you've met through the game. You can see here, even the likes of kind of Mustard makes a return, which is super cool because he kind of felt like a little bit of a side element, just kind of popped in Isle of Armor, and then we've never seen him again since. And that's kind of like, it's nice to see him drawn back into kind of the main game as kind of a finish point. A cool thing that they've kind of announced or talked about with this final trailer as well is that with the pairings, obviously the pairings will vary depending on who you pick and all the rest of it, and that will create an opportunity to have varying dialogue, and there might be like interactions or dialogue that change from game to game depending on these partnerships that you've picked and the choices you've made through this competition. Also, it gives us an opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more of the depth and the backstory to some of these gyms. And again, I just think that's so cool because there's so much story that we touched on. And I want to see the more depth of it. So yeah, I am stoked. Obviously, it drops in, like I said, about 8 hours time. So I can't wait to kind of get my hands on it, get a play of it. And yeah, just see where we're going. So we'll keep doing loads of different videos, different elements of the game. If there's anything specific you want to see, make sure you drop it into the comments, and I'll see what I can do. But as always, guys, we are doing daily gameplay videos on this channel. Animal Crossing's, Pokemon, dinosaurs, anything in between, anything that's fun, anything that we can all play together and kind of connect as a community. So if you are brand new, please consider hitting that subscribe button, drop a like, and as always, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys!